This is News Desk. If you just tuned in, and my name is Kimini Nyamani Amanana. Today marks day 3 of the indefinite strike declared by 12 labor unions here in Ghana. Labor wants government to transfer their second-tier pension funds to their preferred fund managers. More than 10 labor unions declared this indefinite strike on Tuesday, demanding that government allows them to manage their tier 2 pension scheme. Now, the second tier pension scheme is a mandatory and it's aimed at providing workers high lump sum benefits than previously available under the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. Although it is expected to be managed privately, the striking workers maintain government must not single-handedly select a company to manage the funds for them. Now, we've been talking a lot about these unions on strike. What we have not paid much attention to is what goes on in our schools, or what could be going on in our schools right now, because most of their teachers are not available. Now, Shay, who is here with me at Joy News, visited some of these schools. He's joined me here. We'll show you some pictures in a bit. But let's start the conversation with Shay. Shay, tell us what you came across.
We went around to some of the public schools yesterday in Accra to ascertain the situation, since we are aware teachers are also joining the rest of the labor unions on strike. So actually when we went...
And that is one of the schools, that's what we're seeing on our screen now is one of the schools you visited.
Yeah.
I see. And they are out playing.
Yes. Because teachers, though some were present, they were seated looking at the children doing their own thing.
So some of the teachers have gone to school, right? Some sort of a sit-down strike.
Yeah.
They have gone to school, right? But they are not teaching at all. But why were you able to gather why the students are in school when the teachers are not teaching?
Yes, the teachers told us they were on strike, and therefore they are complying with the directive from their superiors. And therefore, you could see that some of the classes were empty and some of the children playing around, and the teachers were also seated.
What did the heads of these schools tell you as to why they're still keeping the children in school when their teachers are on strike?
Actually, what they were saying is some are, yesterday was the day they got the authority or go ahead to also join the strike. And therefore, so the children were there. Though they didn't want them to go home completely, some of the teachers were volunteering to kind of manage their children in other schools, but others, they were just left on their own.
What are some of the most shocking things you saw on this journey?
Yeah, you could see some of the children roaming on the street. Some were sitting on trees, some playing football around, and you could even see their shirts hung on trees.
Because they wanted to play. I think I remember when our teachers were not in school, one of us stood in front of the class to teach, and it's a shame that this is happening in our public schools, which educates most of our children. But what are some of the things that these children told you?
Yes, some of them said this wasn't the first time the teachers are striking, and therefore they need the government to do something immediately about it, because especially the final year BC students, they wanted help because they have to write the exam with students who are in private schools, and their teachers are always with them. So they express concern about their ability to complete the syllabus before their exam.
Does it look like the schools will have to close down if the teachers don't go back to?
That's what it looks like, because from...
Look at the school uniforms.
Yes, on my way back...
Hang on poles.
On my way back to work today, I spotted some of the children I knew. I asked them why they're not in school, and they basically told me because teachers are on strike, and therefore they didn't even go to school today at all.
Interesting. Interesting the kind of developments, and that's one classroom, one empty classroom. Anyway, so when are we to see the full version on TV? This is just
this story will be on air at 2:30 p.m. on Sunday on For Kids, and 4 p.m. on Joy News.
On Joy News, on News Generation, would bring you the full story of. And look at that! They hang their clothes, take off their shirts, and hang them on their football goal posts.
Yeah, that was the school's premise. They were playing football, and so they had to hang.
So how
their
about
shirts.
those who were going to write their BECE?
Yeah, for them they were better. Some of them were seated in class when we got there, and some of them were learning on their own. Some you could see some of them reading, some were also playing, and some were also watching movies on computers.
Watching movies on
Yeah.
computers. And some of them were fidgeting with their mobile phones. I remember the shots we went through.
Yeah.
Some of them were fidgeting with their mobile. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Fidgeting with their mobile phones
yeah.
in school.
Yeah.
And if this is what is happening in the capital city,
How much more those in the rural
you can
communities?
imagine what could be going on in the rural areas. So 4 p.m. 4 p.m. on Sunday, you can watch the full piece on News Generation right here on Joy News. But if you're in a hurry and you'd want to see it earlier at 2:30 p.m. you can see it on for kids, also on your multi-TV digibox. Thank you very much, Shay, for highlighting the situation for us. So that is what the situation is likely to degenerate into if government does not reach a compromise with the striking labor unions, which includes NAGRAT, NAT, and the coalition of concerned teachers. 3 teacher groups. That means that the entire public education structure is gradually grinding to a halt. Imagine those preparing to write their final exams, the kind of effect this could have on it. You don't want to miss the full piece of that. This is just the tip of the iceberg. 4 p.m. Joy News on Sunday. But now we can talk about voter exhibition. Don't go away.